Welcome back to the newest episode in our Del Mar Library series. It's been great to see so many students dropping into the library to find something to read. And if you haven't yet, make it a goal to come by in the coming weeks to check out some of the great adventures we have in stock. This month, we at Del Mar are celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month. Each year, Americans observe this month from September 15th to October 15th by celebrating the histories, cultures, and contributions of American citizens whose ancestors came from Spain, Mexico, the Caribbean, and Central and South America. The observation started in 1968 as Hispanic Heritage Week under President Lyndon Johnson and was later expanded by President Ronald Reagan in 1988. It was enacted into law on August 17th of that year. The day of September 15th is significant because it is the anniversary of independence for Latin American countries Costa Rica, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, and Nicaragua. Del Mar has an awesome Spanish program, developed and taught by Mr. Rhodes, Ms. Mutilva, and Mr. Harrington. They teach the language skills necessary to communicate with Spanish speakers both at home and abroad, while also exposing you to the various cultures in the Spanish-speaking world. And it's not just in your Spanish class, but in every subject. Contributions to that area of study have been made by those in the Hispanic community. And in our library, we have many, many works from key figures of Hispanic literature, poetry, and art. Let's get to know a few of those titans today. Let's start with Gary Soto. Soto was born in Fresno, California, and his work focuses on daily youthful experiences as well as his life as a Chicano. Soto said, "As a writer, my duty is not to make people perfect. I'm not a cheerleader. I'm one who provides portraits of people in the rush of life." His novel, The Afterlife, tells the tale of a boy killed while combing his hair and has the reader follow his ghost on adventures. His clever wit and prose are on full display in this novel. 7th graders, you will also recognize Soto's work, having read one of his short stories in your English class with Miss Chase. Julia Alvarez was born in New York by parents from the Dominican Republic. She has written many novels and short stories aimed at middle school readers, including Return to Sender. The book focuses on 11-year-old Tyler, who worries about losing his Vermont farm after an accident in his family. Soon Tyler meets Marie, the oldest daughter in a Mexican family who comes to work on the farm. While initially wary of each other, they form a friendship. Return to Sender is a compassionate narrative that puts a human heart at the center of this story about culture and immigration. Next, we have Francisco Jimenez, who is currently a professor at Stanford University, but is well known in the literary world for his autobiographical novels, including this one, The Circuit. It documents his family's journey to the United States and their challenges integrating into society as migrant farm workers. It's an excellent book, and one that has earned a great deal of critical acclaim since its publication in 1997. If this book grabs your imagination, we have the sequel on our shelves as well. We also have the new release from Rebecca Balcarcel titled The Other Half of Happy, about a 12-year-old girl who is half American and half Guatemalan, and who's just trying to navigate middle school. But there are many layers to this story that may resonate with you, especially what it's like to have a foot in two different cultures. And we have a new graphic novel, this one called American Chavez, Made in the USA. Written by Kalinda Vasquez and art by Carlos Gomez, this action-packed adventure is a great introduction to this new Marvel character that's also been seen in some recent film adaptations. Or maybe you're interested in some nonfiction. We have many titles to choose from, including biographies by important figures like footballer Pele and Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. And in this edition of our Classic Corner, we have a modern classic, but a classic nonetheless. A book that has been a staple of Latino literature in the US since it was published in the 1980s, Sandra Cisneros' The House on Mango Street. Structured as a series of vignettes, it tells the story of Esperanza Cordero, a 12-year-old Chicano girl growing up in the Hispanic quarter of Chicago. Based in part on Cisneros' own experience, the novel follows Esperanza over the span of 1 year in her life, as she enters adolescence and begins to face the realities of life as a young woman in a poor and patriarchal community. Take a moment to check out our display related to these creators and the Hispanic Heritage Month, in the case in front of the library. This Saturday, September 17th, the Belle-Tib Public Library is having its grand opening. I'll be there with many other members of our community to celebrate. feel free to drop by at 10:30 a.m. to be part of the festivities. And again, drop into the library and see what other Hispanic literature we have in our collection. A lot of it is on display. Until next time, Del Mar, keep reading.